state of the market, the crypto market. So let's get right down into it. Now, if you look into Bitcoin, what can we see? Well, we're on the 4 hours right now. We can take a look at the daily to see what the market looks like on the daily. All right, so on the daily, it looks as if we formed this. Hold on, just give me a second. Let me get this. Yeah, so if you do look at it properly, don't be fooled by being too zoomed in. Take a look at the bigger picture. This is a massive uptrend. And in the current, market structure, the most recent structure, we have this decline that came to, tap into this our resistance zone here, sorry, support zone here, which was the previous resistance zone. Then it came to tap into that zone, and that zone became our now recent support. All right. And new the new resistance happens to be up above here, all right, this zone around here. So we saw the market break slightly above it before declining downwards. All right, this is still on the daily. So let's go to the 4 hour charts. All right, I knew that would mess things up a little bit, but no problem. We're just going to bring it back. So it's a little decline on the 4 hour. So let's make it a bit, viewable for us to see. Now, looking into it, we can see that after creating a recent high here, the highest point, we saw a market decline, and that was just creating points of liquidity everywhere, creating liquidity at this point, creating liquidity at this point, creating liquidity at a critical point here also. And this is just what we call them, all right? And what the market is always hunting for are just points of liquidity, and we have this already kind of cleared out. Although not totally, more like we just tapped into it, and now this is becoming our recent resistance currently. Currently, this is our recent or most recent resistance. And we broke it a little bit, but didn't really close above it. So we've not broken it to stay above it. We've broken it as just the first, touch. We might be coming, not even might, we're coming for a second tap in here. And if we do look at it, this did not really break it. So this might be our first touch. Okay, first, second. I think the third time we might really crash over this and break over this. So when that happens now, this would be the next victim. All right, this point here would become the next victim. And after that, we'll have this point as the next victim. So hopefully, not hopefully, there's no hope when it comes to this market. It's either technical or fundamental. You have to be certain of what you're doing. And this market is, supported by both fundamental and technical factors. This is the technical showing you that yes, we're coming to 118K, we're coming to, okay, let's start from, we're coming to 113K, we're coming to 116, we're coming to 118, all the way back up to 123, and possibly break into a new high above the 124Ks, 125Ks. All right. So that will definitely happen. This is what the technical analysis is saying. Now, what is the fundamental saying? Let's quickly take a quick look into what the fundamental is saying. It was September 7th. That was just 24 hours ago. Now, Michael Saylor posted the Bitcoin tracker again. Whenever he posts this tracker on his timeline, definitely in a few days or the next day, he's buying Bitcoin. All right. Now, he said Bitcoin needs more orange. They know what they are doing. All right. These people are not selling, they are buying more. They are buying more. Now, let's see what happened. Okay, this is fun fact. Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender 4 years ago. Okay, not bad. Justin, El Salvador president, announced the oh, this is not a recent news. This happened, I think, January 19th. That's what they call the Bitcoin Day. I'm not accurate on that date, but I think it's January 19th. So here, look at what happened again. Mining difficulty hit a new all-time high. Difficulty hit all-time high. Now, let's take a look at it. What is mining difficulty? Here, it's a measure of how hard it is to find a new block. The Bitcoin network adjusts difficulty roughly every 2 weeks to keep block times around 10 minutes. Like that's like the kind of average it takes to mine a new block. Now, higher difficulty means more competition and more computing power to secure the Bitcoin network. Now, why this is a big news? Tell me why this. And look at the sign beside it. It looks like a bullish news, actually. Now, more miners are joining. This surge suggests increased interest in investment in Bitcoin mining. That means the more people you have, the more difficult it is. It just explains that there is more demand for something, and when the demand is high, the value for that particular commodity begins to go up. So the same thing happens here. The mining difficulty goes up. The computational power required to solve every block exponentially increases or simultaneously increases. All right. Now, next thing here is network security is stronger because the more nodes you have, the more security of the network. So the more they are, the more secure Bitcoin securities, because the harder it becomes for a hacker to, hack every block to be able to break the Bitcoin security. So these miners are doing a whole lot of big job for us, and this is where it comes in. Now, profit margin tightens. Miners need more efficient hardware and cheaper electricity to stay profitable. So this is just more of the difficulty being explained. What could it signal? Institutional players might be ramping up operations, confidence in Bitcoin's long-term value, and it could precede price volatility, either up or down. Might not be so certain as mining economics shift. So this is just what I'm trying to explain to you. So in a way, all of this is citing that there is more interest in Bitcoin. And not so far from then, look at it. Breaking strategy buys another 1,955 Bitcoin for 217 million. This is a bit smaller this time, but they bought last time they bought 4,048. That was just about a week ago. About the same time I made this video. Now, a week after, they're buying 1,955, about 2,000 plus. You understand? They bought almost half a billion last week, about 444 million. Now they're buying 217 million of Bitcoin. Now, note this, just in strategy, MSTR acquired. Okay, this is the same news. And here, Justin Strats Tom Lee on CNBC, Bitcoin can easily get to 200,000 before the year ends. And even Michael Saylor posted something like this recently, that everybody is predicting Bitcoin will go above $150,000. So these are just signals that we are still in a massive season. And look at this again, the largest Bitcoin conference in Europe has been acquired by Treasury. That's a Treasury BTC. So you can see all these events coming up, and the latest here we have breaking Kazakhstan president, his name is there, proposed creating a strategic crypto reserve. That's before the election, while he was campaigning, mixed up with the Bitcoin community and gave a lot of promises, uh, some of which was to free Ross Ulbricht, the Silk Road guy, and he did. He did free Ross. Ross has been in prison for more than a decade. I can't recall how many years. And also, he said he was going to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve, which I think Senator is it Loomis or what's her name? That lady has been going on about, speaking about I mean, one of the pro Bitcoin activists that we have in the government, and she has been going up about this, bringing up bills to Senate to pass, and we have Trump, signed that into law that there will be a strategic Bitcoin reserve, but they did not say they will be buying. They will be opening up that reserve with the seized Bitcoins, which I showed in my last video. And this is just to prove to us that there is more demand on Bitcoin than ever. So this bull run is not a usual one, and it's going to be longer than necessary, but the massive profits are undeniable, and they're just getting started. All right. So see you guys on the next video. I would like to cut it short here. Thanks for coming in. Bye for now.